Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends! This week, Origins Game Fair is happening in Columbus, Ohio. And last week, I did my top 5 most anticipated games, and those are games that I'm super excited about, but you research them, and they're ones that you haven't played. They're not even out yet. And most of them you could buy there, but some of them you could only demo there because they're coming out later in the year. So you don't have a lot of experience with those games, but those are the ones I'm excited about. This list, in my opinion, is the better of the two lists, although it always gets less views than the other list. I don't know why. This is my 5 best games that are releasing at Origins. And releasing at Origins means either it just got released recently or it's the first main convention that it's going to be at. Now these are games that I've actually already played. Most of them I've already reviewed. And these are fantastic games. If you go to Origins, you must check out. Here we go.
Number 5.
All right, number 5 is a small little press your luck game called Mega Jackpot. Now, before I get into this, last year, Flip 7 took the world by storm as a short little quick press your luck game. It even just got nominated for the Spiel des Jahres. I think this Mega Jackpot is this year's Flip 7. And what I mean by that is it's a short, quick game that's press your luck. You don't take it too seriously. It's a ton of fun, and it's fantastic. Okay, so Mega Jackpot is like you're playing slots on like the table. Essentially, you're able to flip 1 or 2 cards, and by doing this, you're trying to match up certain things like diamonds or genies or different things, and they're worth different points, magic carpets. But the trick to this game is there's a different variation of how many there are of each thing, and you know what that distribution is. So there's way more apples that are only worth 1 point than genies that are worth, I think, 7, right? And so you're trying to flip these things over, and you know which one of 2 things is on the other side of that card, and you have to basically take the card, you place it somewhere, and you flip it, and you're trying to get it. But you could also flip 2 cards simultaneously trying to get it. But you can also spend cards that you've won before to try to flip again. And every time you do that, you spend a little bit more and more and more trying to push your luck to get it. There's also a Mega Jackpot variant, which I highly recommend you play with, where you could try to win the pot that people are using to pay to press their luck. It is a fantastic game. It's press your luck within press your luck. Super fun, standout moments. Mega Jackpot.
Number 4.
This next one is Wine Cellar. Actually, last year at Origins, I played this game with the designer at the Secret Cabal meetup. We were out there having fun, listening to all the music and everything, and we got some people together and played it. This game is fantastic. It's got vintage Dutre art. It's a wine cellar game where you're collecting wine from around the world and storing it on their side on your little case. And the interesting thing is, depending on where you place this wine bottle, the first one all the way up, or maybe the 8th one all the way down, they'll score different points depending on where it's stored. Some of them want to be stored on top, some of them want to be stored on the bottom, some want to be stored in the middle, and so forth. You're trying to get these bottles of wine to be stored in the right things to maximize your points, but you're also collecting different types of wine, whether it's white wine or red wine or sparkling wine, and you're trying to get those because you have goals. They're not secret. You have goals that you're trying to get to. So you're trying to get the right wine and store them in the right way. There's also different countries, set collection that you're trying to do. So it's 3 different things going. But the interesting thing is how you do this is you're going to be bidding with some cards that have a number on it, and the highest number gets to draft first. It's almost like the game of forced sale, like a very popular game where you put a card down secretly, you put it up, and then you draft. It's like that, but you're collecting wine, you're storing them in certain ways, you're getting countries, you're getting wine types. It's a quick little filler game. It also has an advanced variant that's a little more strategic, a little less random, a little bit longer, multiple rounds. But what you do in previous rounds affects your cards for the next round, which allows it to be a very family-friendly game that you can just buy at a wine store and people can play it, or you can play it with gamers that know what they're doing and they're enthusiasts. Wine Cellar, really cool game. This is from 25th Century Games.
Number 3.
This next one is one that I just recently reviewed. It is a 2-player game called Iliad, which was a poem about the Trojans versus the Greeks. And this is a Reiner Knizia designed game. He's one of my favorite designers. 2-player abstract game where you're basically trying to place these tiles on a grid, and when grids get full, you're looking at the column or row that got full, and whoever has the most numbers there, the most influence, gets first choice of those tiles. And those tiles are points, but there's also 5 different gods. And if at the end of the game, only one of you has all 5, that player wins automatically regardless of points. But if neither of you have it, or both of you have all 5 gods, then it goes to points. And a lot of the points are negative, so you're trying to win things to get points, and you want the spread. Like a -5 and a -10, your first choice, you take the -5. It's a 5-point spread, right? But there might be a +10 and a -10. That's a 20-point swing. You really want that row. And as you play tiles, it's simple. You have 2 tiles, you play one, and they have different abilities. Some of them allow you to flip the tile over and somebody else's tile over. Some of them allow you to move a tile from around. And so there's all this manipulation you can do. It is a pretty abstract game, but it is so fantastic, so crunchy, quick, 20 minutes. It is fantastic. If you like 2-player in your face with that scoring, the way the scoring is just makes this game so interesting, and that's Iliad.
Number 2.
This next one is called Ruins. Now this is a re-implementation of an older game that I absolutely love called Custom Heroes. Ruins is by Allplay. This is from designer John D. Clare, one of my favorite designers. This is part of his card crafting system. He has a bunch of games in this system that he had developed where there are transparent cards and you can put them in sleeves and power up cards. This is a card shedding game where you're getting cards, you're trying to be the first one out to run out of cards, and you're trying to put sets of like numbers together, and you're trying to, essentially, make everyone else pass, and you run out and you're trying to run out of cards first. And you're getting points, and you're trying to have the most points to win the game. But you're also able to buy these ruin cards where they slot into your sleeve, and you can have up to 3 different ones in there. Some of them manipulate the card's value. Some of them make it bigger. Some of them make it smaller. Some of it give you special abilities. And the interesting thing is these cards, most of them just go back and get shuffled. So you power up a card to get a big set, but next round that's probably going to be in someone else's hand. But one of the big changes in this version of the game is you get to claim up to 2 cards throughout the game that are yours. If somebody else gets dealt it at the beginning of the round, they give it to you. Great for you, but great for them too, because now they have one less card, you're trying to run out of cards. Very clever balance there. They have streamlined a lot of things, like the end of the game, which was always my biggest problem with Custom Heroes. They made this game shorter, tighter, easier to teach, easier to play, faster, and a better ending. And so if you like card shedding games, this is fantastic. Think of a card shedding game where you can manipulate your cards to the values you want them to be. It's so clever. If you like card shedding games, Ruins is one to check out at the Allplay booth.
Number 1.
Now, before I get to the moment you've been waiting for, I want to let you know that Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, being the one table to rule them all, with Game Toppers, leg kits, dining covers, and premium game mats, and more. Their 5.0 Kickstarter is live now, and they found a way to deflate prices to pre-pandemic levels without sacrificing their quality brand. Now, in some cases, even by $200 or more, dropping the prices of shipping by as much as 50%, saving another $100 plus. Check out the new Ryan Lockett and Amber Sharf mats. Go to GameToppersLLC.com to learn more. All right, my number 1 is a short little family game that I just reviewed on the channel recently called Positano. Now in this game, you're building up these cliffs of Positano in Italy. And what you're trying to do is build these buildings up so they have a good view of the ocean. And because in this game, thematically, if someone is blocking your building, you're not getting points for that part of the building because they can't see the ocean or the seaway, right? And there's 3 different types of buildings. There's, cheap buildings or silver medium buildings or the luxury gold buildings, and you're getting a different amount of points depending on what type of building it is. And this works off a really clever auction system where it's simultaneous, where you're playing 2 cards. One card that tells you what your bid is for all 3 aspects that you're gaining, which is the location you can build in, the amount of blocks you're getting to build, and what type of building can you build, like a good, medium, or a luxury one. And sometimes going higher than you can normally build in a certain thing. And it's really clever because you're putting these cards out in a blind auction, and you're bidding with a little kicker card as well to add to that. And you're basically just bidding, taking blocks, dating a location, and building, and that's it. But there is a ton of depth in this game. You're trying to shoot for end game goals. You're trying to block other players. You're trying to build up, and you're trying to get the most points. It's huge on player interaction. Everybody that any player does affects everybody else, and it's quick, 30 minutes or less. There's also a 5 to 6 player expansion, which I highly recommend because it is good with more players too, but it also allows the 4-player game to be longer. If you're looking for a quick game that has amazing table presence, you can play very casually, or you can take the game to another height with some crunchy decisions in the depth of what you're doing based upon what order people are picking each of the 3 things. This is going to be hugely high on my Family Game of the Year list at the end of the game, Positano. All right, well, I hope this helped you find some games that for sure you can go play and possibly buy at Origins. These are the best ones that are sort of releasing there. But even if you're not at Origins, a lot of these are coming out around the same time. Some of them might even already be for sale. So if you're not even going to Origins, you can still check these games out. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships with board games by helping you find the next one you'll love.